Hello, investors, and welcome to the channel where I use technical analysis to find possible swing trades. Today, we're going to take a look at a different sort of company. In fact, I can confidently say this company is unlike any I have ever looked at before. The company is BP Prudhoe Bay Royalty Trust, ticker symbol BPT. Best I can tell, this company is an administrative paperwork only shell company that owns approximately 150,000 acres of oil fields in Alaska. And they make money by taking a share of all revenue from a portion of oil removed from those oil fields by other companies. So the expenses and overhead for this company are extremely low, but the revenue, because the oil fields are so rich, is extremely high. Even though the company only has a market cap of $157 million, they generate a significantly outweighed amount of revenue. So as we get into the numbers, you'll see this is really unusual. I do want to pan down here real quick just so you can get an idea of how little this company receives attention. You can see there's virtually no analyst ratings, nothing. There's only two. And Thomson Reuters gives it an underperform rating with a target share price of $6 a share. And then Market Edge says go long. They say the buy. So Thomson Reuters says it's going to do poorly. Market Edge says it's going to do well. The only good thing I can say here is, as far as Thomson Reuters goes, the target price of $6, it has been below $6 a share within the last few months. As you see, it's been down in the high fours, 484, 476, 496. Share price right at the moment, as of the last close, was $7.46. So it has come up quite a bit since then. And here we are on BPT's annual chart. You'll see that it is in the middle of the moving averages. It does look like it's traded sideways for a few days after rallying for about a week and a half. However, overall, you have this nice long-term downtrend. Looks like it finally reached the bottom and started to pull up. So if you are interested in purchasing shares in this company, this might be the start of a rally. However, if you look at the 200-day moving average, you'll see it is on a notable downward curve here. So I wouldn't bet too much on this. However, this company is strongly tied to the price of oil. So if you believe that oil and gas prices are going to go up over the next year or two, then this might be a great buying opportunity. We look at the RSI, it looks overbought and falling. The stochastics are just barely falling out of the overbought zone. And the volume shows a spike in volume, mostly green, but now switching over to a couple of red selling days. And the MACD looks like it peaked and is falling. So with these metrics being backwards, you may wonder why I'm looking at this as a possible buy. And when I say backwards, I mean these aren't the metrics of something that I would say buy. I'm looking at this as put on your watch list and wait till it gets lower and then buy it, because this is just so unusual. And let's switch over to E-Trade where you can see these numbers. And I left it up on this snapshot page just so you can see all the blanks here. Blank, blank, nothing, no news, no price analysis. However, I will scroll down to one thing, and that's the dividend history. This chart here in the middle of the screen shows the dividend history of the last 10 years for BPT. This is incredibly wild. It just fluctuates drastically. I mean, look at that. In 2014, if you own shares, you would have gathered more than $10 a share for this company. And yet in 2021, you would have gathered about 5 cents. So as I said, this company's performance and what they pay out to their shareholders is heavily tied to the price of oil. So oil goes up, and you'll stand to make quite a bit in dividends. And if we switch over to the fundamentals, you can see these numbers I'm talking about here. We have, starting off with short interest, we're at 10% flat. I will point out that 1 month ago, the short interest was over 14%. So the short interest has come down significantly in just a month. You look over at financial strength. Whenever I see this, a bunch of zeros and dashes, that means the company has no debt. No long-term debt, no short-term debt, no nothing. So that's a great sign. But again, I feel like this company is just a couple of administrators in an office somewhere shuffling papers around. And that's probably all they need to make this work. We're looking over at the PE ratio. It's only 2.1, which is lower than it's lower than 95% of other companies in the industry. The operating margin of 98.19% means that their operating margin is higher than 100% of their peers. The return on equity, 1,367.7%. And yes, as you might guess, that puts BPT at top of class. It beats out 100% of other companies in the same industry. These things are just insane. And the growth rate here shows that it is greater than 95% of other companies in the industry. The payout ratio for the dividend is 99.92%. So essentially, any money they earn is fully paid over to the shareholders with a tiny sliver retained for their expenses. And the dividend yield of 45.25%, which is absurdly high, would normally be a gigantic red flag, but given the wild dividend fluctuations we've seen on this company, it kind of makes sense that it could be exceedingly high or it could be next to nothing. One interesting thing I see here in many interesting oddball points on the fundamentals here is the dividend yield is greater than 93% of other companies in oil and gas exploration. So the dividend yield is 45%, but there are still 7% of companies in this industry that pay out more than 45%. What are those other companies? What's in that last 7%? Anyhow, BPT is just so unusual. I felt like I needed to put it on everyone's watch list. I would like to purchase shares at a lower price. I will probably sell puts down here at $6 or $5 and see what happens. And I'll keep watching it. And if the fundamentals and continue to be as they are and the technicals pull back a bit, if we get a pullback into the oversold zone, for instance, then I'll think about purchasing some shares. But at the moment, this is an extremely unusual company that may be worth adding to your watch list. So let me know what you think of this company in the comments below. And if you got something out of the video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button and subscribe to help out the channel. If you like this kind of content, please let me know in the comments. Or if you'd like me to take a look at a particular company using the indicators I present here, just mention them in the comments and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.